Where have you all been hiding out in the XRP and Ripple communities? Thank you for returning. The date is November 23rd. Many of them, I'm sure, pass unnoticed by you on any given day, but since it's Thanksgiving Eve, I thought I'd bring in the United States. This is a major party day. I don't understand why. What follows is a straightforward explanation of how this works. Many individuals, including those from the groups you mentioned, head out tonight to get completely wasted at local watering holes while socializing with friends and their family. The excessive drinking has wiped off their intelligence. Why? For the simple reason that when they finally wake up the next day, the sleepers will be able to fill their faces with turkey while watching football. Believe me, I'm not making this up. Searching online will provide the answer. This is an actual consequence. Today and Christmas Eve are the busiest drinking days of the year. However, you should not be concerned. In a Ripple, this is the real Van Winkle, folks. The guy is staying put. The impending departure for a cruise has left me with a to-do list. The Sunday departing maxi sales on Monday. Kickball and softball practice resume on Wednesday, but I have a lot of business to attend to in the metaverse tonight. While it may appear to some that I have been on vacation, I have actually been working 13-hour days on love slides and dealing with everything else that has come up. Everything has been completely insane. To be sure, have a look. This video will cover a recently announced, enormous cooperation. Yes. There is going to be a rippling effect. My gut tells me that instantaneous cash flow will play a role. Yes, I think this will completely alter the playing field. In this discussion, we'll focus on Japan's central bank. Why? Because they're getting way too deep into a CBDC. Why is it important to the discussion about Ripple and XRP on this channel, right? So explain. Do not forget Yoshitaka Tao's words. He predicted that by the year 2025, every single Japanese bank would be using Ripple's XRP. That was a sentence I will never forget hearing. What we're going to do is talk about that. Nonetheless, what about Barry Silbert now? At long last, the man has spoken. A $2 billion debt was exposed at his crypto business, he said. Trusted that my message was received successfully. This whole week, I've been writing about Barry Silbert. Some of it toward the end of last week even. See, I warned you he was in hot water. $2 billion in debt due to the FTX saga. For Crypto Peace, we scored a victory. I can't wait to share this with you and his recent lawsuit. Let's not waste any more time. After looking at the Livecoin watch, the class will be able to tell you that Bitcoin is currently trading at $16,546, a gain of 2.1%. The price of an ounce of Ethereum is now $1,180, a 3.65% increase over the past 24 hours. XRP has averaged 37 cents over the previous 24 hours. This figure currently sits at 1.34%. The total value of all cryptocurrencies has increased by $154 billion in the past day as Bitcoin has surged 37.34%. Basically the same as this morning, when James's rule first made its way into the XRP community. It's taking place in the United Arab Emirates. Current market conditions have shown the importance of bolstering cryptocurrencies' underlying real-world assets transparency. If you missed yesterday's piece, you can find it here. Gold with a high enough quality of gold content to be discussed in digital form for trading purposes is going to be generated on the Zim network. Serious business, for sure. Tokenizing assets on the XRP ledger. Who else do you think will join in? There will come a time when this occurs. No matter how often something is true, that does not indicate it is always the case. It's on the decline. To put this out during an amicus brief roundtable discussion, central banks around the world are issuing digital currencies and tokenizing a variety of assets. Update legal counsel and financial records Fred are turned off by the whole law and have predicted that Ripple will prevail in summary judgment, having XRP on secondary markets and the ledger deemed not to be securities. What you wanted is presented here. The combined brilliance of these lawyers and businessmen has really floored me. To wrap things off, I was hoping someone would be brave enough to guess how the legal case and the legislative front would turn out. We keep telling ourselves that this is a problem that needs to be remedied through political action, in the form of well-thought-out laws. We haven't seen that happen just yet. I'm curious about your thoughts on whether or not you anticipate the same thing in the rather close future. Quickly, I predict that ripples will prevail, or that a summary judgment will be rendered finding that the secondary market for XRP is not intrinsically a security. The information contained in the ledger is not a security. Further, I do not believe the facts are clear enough for the purposes of a summary judgment. Therefore, I am not referring to objective reality. That's all I'm saying for summary judgment considerations, the rest will go to trial. However, I believe that the SEC will finally say, okay, Ripple, we won't proceed to trial once the major win has been achieved. You've paid the money to us, therefore they have less leverage than they would have otherwise. However, their only motivation is to test their own viability. And I think once they take that loss, they'll give up. They must accept defeat. Full force, they go into nonetheless. I still anticipate that this ordeal will be over before the end of the year. Seriously, I do. They are reluctant to part with him or the paperwork. They have been ignoring his emails and refusal to hand it out. Ripple is well aware of the value of their possessions. What do you mean, ace in the hole? There it is, the trump card from way back when. Those secret emails should be made public so that everyone can see what the SEC is up to, and how badly they are handling the FTX scandal. We also know that Gary Gensler had many meetings with Sam, but that nothing was ever said or done as a result of those meetings, and no one even batted an eye when anything unexpected came up during their conversations. In the process of safeguarding his clients, he managed to lose $9 billion. It's not going to end good, and they don't want those him and emails to come out, so my man Jack put this out. Trial distribution of the central bank digital money will begin in spring 2023, with the Bank of Japan coordinating the effort with Japan's 3 major banks and regional institutions. Wow, look at how committed Japan is. Considered in 2023's early spring. There will be a CBDC Hermosa statement issued jointly by 3 big and regional banks. On February 22, 2019, everything that happened did occur. That in the wink of an eye, like Yoshi obtaining a star, that's what Tao promised XRP at $10. By the year 2025, XRP will be used by every single Japanese bank. The article is provided below. The 3rd of May, 2025, will be the opening day of the next World's Fair, which will be held in Osaka. The expo will focus on how to create a better society for the future generations by focusing on topics like healthy living and cultural diversity. Also, he left the details of his interview with Katato Coin Falls out of his description. The lengthy cryptocurrency market by itself is not to be considered an industry at this time. This person was the former head of SBI Japan, which is essentially a 60Q banking consortium, and they have been trying very hard to force the de-adoption of XRP among financial institutions. He is actively encouraging the whole banking industry to use XRP and the ledger for internal transactions. In addition, recently we've seen 3 major or very sizable banks collaborate on a CBDC trial. Do you have any suspicions that a ledger won't be used to manage this? It will, of course, take place at Mr. Wilson Mulberry's? In an effort to reassure investors following the FTX fiasco, he admits that his cryptocurrency corporation is $2 billion in debt. But these businesses are waiting for something, which is why Barry has been so quiet. The rising Bitcoin price is what they're anticipating. A lot of these guys love him, like Barry over there and Novogratz and the Winklevoss twins, and they want the price of Bitcoin to go up so they can get themselves out of debt. They're in deep water if SPF's assertions that he'll be speaking at the Dilbert Summit on Wednesday, which I think will be in New York, are true. No way he displays face, I said on Twitter. Despite popular belief, Gary Gensler will not be making the trip in person for this upcoming Zoom call. There is no way to bring him back if he flies away and then makes a scene. A flight risk with no passport, he will be incarcerated pending trial. Basically, you can't think of anything he hasn't done. Unquestionably revolting. So, what's up with Ripple right now? True lawyer and crypto enthusiast. The FTC settlement presents a real possibility. Without a doubt, this is going to occur. Through the end of the year, I will broadcast a daily sermon on this channel. The conclusion of this lawsuit is imminent. Perhaps the SEC's ordeal with Brad and Chris has dragged on for too long. But we will have clarity on XRP, the ledger, and the secondary market, since there is no way in hell they can tell you that buying XRP on one of these exchanges makes it a security, since the only reason anyone would buy an asset held on such an exchange is in the hope that its value will rise. Ponder that for a while from the perspective of wow, they really are a laughingstock now. To properly explain this, I'd want to skip ahead to this part of the video for the second time. Throne's Ripple became the first payment and infrastructure supplier for WeChat. With over 1 billion users, WeChat is China's most popular messaging app, rivaling Alipay and Alipay, all of which are closely linked to cultural shifts. Hello, when it comes to XRP liquidity on demand, Trey Angelo is inextricably linked. WeChat is now a partner of meal delivery service Ripple. The plot is starting to unfold, right? What's that old tune? And I'm going to crank it up where the clavicle meets the euro. What the heck am I talking about? Forget it, I've had a long day. You know what I'm talking about when it comes to people in the food industry who are all connected via WeChat. One of the most prominent players in the last 40 years of on-demand liquidity corridors is Alipay. I told you in the video I uploaded this morning that they have established connections with the Bank of China, Alipay, and Angelo WeChat Pay in China. All the links have been shown to you. This is just another piece of the puzzle. I'm telling you, this will explode sooner than you think, so get ready. Put some soap on your filthy hands. Please, let's all just get along and be polite to one another, and then we'll pull this.